Your information regarding the inspection of medium and high voltage installations and the National Electrical Code's consideration of providing code for medium voltage cable systems is accurate. Deregulation has indeed led to fewer qualified electrical inspectors. This has resulted in some industrial and commercial facility inspectors being assigned to inspect medium and high voltage installations without adequate training or the necessary tools. This situation arises because traditionally, medium and high voltage installations have been inspected by highly specialized and certified individuals due to the inherent risks involved. However, deregulation, coupled with a shortage of qualified inspectors, has created a scenario where less experienced inspectors are being tasked with these critical inspections. This raises serious concerns about safety and compliance. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, serves as the primary code for electrical installations in the United States. The potential addition of code provisions for medium voltage cable systems in upcoming editions aims to provide specific requirements for the design, installation, and maintenance of these systems. This move is intended to address the gap in knowledge and standardized practices in this specialized field. The possible consequences of improper inspections of medium and high voltage installations are significant. Firstly, electrical accidents and injuries can occur due to overlooked hazards or incorrect assessments. Secondly, equipment damage can result from improper installation or maintenance practices that go unnoticed during inspections. Thirdly, power outages can be triggered by faulty medium and high voltage systems that were not adequately inspected. And fourthly, fire hazards can arise from electrical faults or overheating components that were not identified during the inspection process. To contribute your expertise and support the NEC code development efforts, there are several key organizations to contact. One such organization is the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. The NFPA is the responsible entity for developing and publishing the National Electrical Code. You can contact them through their website at https://www.nfpa.org or by phone at 1-800-344-3555. They are a central point for information and participation in the NEC development process. Another organization is the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, or IEEE. The IEEE is responsible for developing the IEEE 400 standard. This standard serves as a guide to field testing medium and high voltage cable systems. Contacting the IEEE can provide opportunities to contribute to the development and refinement of industry best practices. Their website is located at https://www.iee.org and their phone number is 1-800-678-4333. In addition to contacting these national organizations, consider reaching out to local electrical industry organizations in your area. Offer your knowledge and expertise to assist with training and awareness programs aimed at improving the competency of inspectors working with medium and high voltage systems. Furthermore, think about developing educational materials or guidelines specifically tailored for inspectors. These resources can help them better understand the nuances of medium and high voltage inspections and identify potential hazards. Finally, it is important to stay informed about the NEC code development process. Actively participate by providing input during public comment periods. Your practical experience and technical knowledge can be invaluable in shaping the final code provisions. Your expertise in medium and high voltage cable reliability and installation safety is a valuable asset. By actively engaging with these organizations and initiatives, you can make a significant contribution to improving safety and compliance in this critical area of electrical infrastructure. The NEC is continuously updated to reflect the latest advancements and best practices in the electrical industry. This includes addressing new technologies, safety concerns, and evolving industry standards. The process of updating the NEC involves a committee of experts, including electrical engineers, contractors, inspectors, and other stakeholders. They review proposed changes, conduct research, and consider public comments before adopting revisions to the code. The NEC covers a wide range of electrical topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, equipment installation, and special occupancies. It provides detailed requirements for ensuring the safe and reliable installation of electrical systems in buildings and other structures. Adherence to the NEC is typically mandated by state and local jurisdictions, making it a legal requirement for electrical installations. Inspectors play a crucial role in enforcing the NEC and ensuring that electrical work meets the code's requirements. They review plans, conduct inspections, and issue permits to verify compliance. The IEEE 400 standard specifically focuses on the field testing of medium and high voltage cable systems. It provides guidance on various testing methods, including voltage withstand tests, insulation resistance tests, and partial discharge tests. These tests are essential for assessing the condition of cable insulation and identifying potential defects that could lead to failures. The IEEE 400 standard also covers the interpretation of test results and the development of maintenance strategies based on the findings. It helps to ensure the long-term reliability and performance of medium and high voltage cable systems. Understanding the principles of medium and high voltage cable construction is crucial for effective inspection and maintenance. These cables typically consist of a conductor, insulation, a semiconducting shield, and an outer jacket. The conductor carries the electrical current, while the insulation prevents the current from leaking out. The semiconducting shield helps to distribute electrical stresses evenly across the insulation, and the outer jacket provides mechanical protection and environmental resistance. Common types of insulation used in medium and high voltage cables include cross-linked polyethylene, ethylene propylene rubber, and paper oil insulation. Each type of insulation has its own unique properties and applications. Factors such as voltage rating, operating temperature, and environmental conditions influence the selection of the appropriate insulation material. Proper installation practices are essential for ensuring the long-term reliability of medium and high voltage cable systems. This includes following manufacturer's instructions for cable handling, termination, and splicing. It also involves using appropriate tools and equipment and adhering to established industry standards. Cable terminations and splices are particularly critical points in the system, as they are often the weakest links. Improperly made terminations or splices can lead to insulation breakdown, overheating, and ultimately failure. Regular inspection and maintenance of medium and high voltage cable systems are essential for preventing failures and ensuring safety. This includes visual inspections, testing, and periodic replacement of components as needed. Visual inspections can identify signs of damage such as cracks, cuts, or abrasions in the cable jacket. Testing can reveal hidden defects in the insulation or terminations. Keeping accurate records of inspections, tests, and maintenance activities is crucial for tracking the condition of the cable system over time. This information can be used to identify trends, predict potential failures, and plan for future maintenance activities. In addition to the NEC and IEEE 400 standards, other relevant standards and guidelines may apply to medium and high voltage cable systems. These may include standards from organizations such as the American National Standards Institute or ANSI, the International Electrotechnical Commission or IEC, and the Insulated Cable Engineers Association or ISA. It is important to be familiar with all applicable standards and guidelines to ensure that the cable system is designed, installed, operated, and maintained in accordance with best practices. The deregulation of the electrical industry has led to increased competition and cost pressures. This has, in some cases, resulted in a reduction in training and qualifications for electrical workers. This can be particularly problematic in the area of medium and high voltage installations, where specialized knowledge and skills are essential. It is crucial for electrical contractors and facility owners to prioritize training and qualifications for their employees. This will help to ensure that they have the knowledge and skills necessary to safely and effectively work with medium and high voltage systems. Furthermore, it is important for electrical inspectors to have the proper training and equipment to adequately inspect these installations. This includes understanding the relevant codes and standards, being familiar with testing methods, and having the necessary tools to perform inspections safely and effectively. The National Electrical Code provides specific requirements for the clearance distances around energized electrical equipment. These clearance distances are intended to prevent accidental contact with energized parts, which could result in electric shock or arc flash. The required clearance distances vary depending on the voltage level and the type of equipment. It is important for electrical workers to be aware of these clearance distances and to maintain them at all times when working near energized equipment. Arc flash is a dangerous phenomenon that can occur when a short circuit or other electrical fault creates an arc of electricity through the air. Arc flash events can generate extremely high temperatures, intense light, and pressure waves that can cause severe burns, injuries, and even death. To protect workers from arc flash hazards, it is important to conduct arc flash hazard assessments, implement appropriate safety procedures, and use personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as arc-rated clothing, gloves, and face shields. The NEC contains specific requirements for arc flash hazard assessments and the selection of PPE. Grounding is an essential safety measure for electrical systems. It provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to trip over current protection devices, such as circuit breakers or fuses. This helps to prevent electrical shock and equipment damage. The NEC contains detailed requirements for grounding electrical systems, including the size and type of grounding conductors, the methods for connecting grounding electrodes, and the bonding of metal enclosures and equipment. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. They interrupt the flow of current when it exceeds a predetermined level, preventing damage to equipment and reducing the risk of fire. The NEC contains specific requirements for the selection and installation of overcurrent protection devices, including the ampacity of the conductors, the interrupting rating of the devices, and the coordination of protection. Electrical equipment that is installed in hazardous locations, such as areas where flammable gases or dusts are present, must be specifically designed and certified for use in those locations. These equipment are designed to prevent ignition of the flammable materials, either by containing any potential sparks or by limiting the surface temperature of the equipment. The NEC contains specific requirements for electrical equipment in hazardous locations, including the types of protection methods, the marking of equipment, and the installation requirements. Regular maintenance of electrical equipment is essential for ensuring its safe and reliable operation. This includes visual inspections, cleaning, lubrication, and testing. Maintenance activities should be performed by qualified personnel in accordance with manufacturers' instructions and industry best practices. Keeping accurate records of maintenance activities is crucial for tracking the condition of the equipment and identifying potential problems. Before working on any electrical equipment, it is essential to de-energize the circuit and verify that it is de-energized using appropriate testing equipment. This process is known as lockout/tagout, and it is designed to prevent accidental energization of the circuit while work is being performed. The NEC requires the use of lockout/tagout procedures for all electrical work. It is important to follow all safety procedures and use appropriate personal protective equipment when working on or near electrical equipment. This includes wearing safety glasses, gloves, and appropriate clothing. It is also important to be aware of the potential hazards and to take steps to mitigate them. Understanding the principles of electrical safety is essential for all electrical workers. This includes understanding the dangers of electricity, the safety procedures to follow, and the personal protective equipment to use. Continuous training and education are crucial for keeping electrical workers up to date on the latest safety practices and technologies. Staying informed about changes to the NEC and other relevant standards is essential for ensuring compliance and maintaining a safe working environment. This can be achieved by attending training courses, reading industry publications, and participating in professional organizations. The electrical industry is constantly evolving, with new technologies and safety practices being developed all the time. It is important to stay informed about these changes and to adapt accordingly. This will help to ensure that you are providing the safest and most reliable electrical services possible. By actively participating in the NEC code development process, You can help to shape the future of electrical safety and ensure that the code reflects the latest advancements and best practices in the industry. This is a valuable contribution that can benefit the entire electrical community. Your expertise in medium and high voltage cable systems is a valuable asset. By sharing your knowledge and experience with others, you can help to improve safety and reliability in this critical area of electrical infrastructure. This can be achieved through training, mentoring, and participation in industry organizations. Remember to prioritize safety in all aspects of your work. This includes following safety procedures, using appropriate personal protective equipment, and staying informed about potential hazards. A commitment to safety will help to protect yourself and others from the dangers of electricity.